I am so happy you can come in, Ginger. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's so good to have you both here, and it was enjoyable speaking with you. This is your first time to be with us here, isn't it?
Yeah, very exciting.
And I'm so happy that I could meet you.
We
and
appreciate you inviting us on. It's awesome.
Thank you. And we're so happy that you could take time out of your busy schedule and join us. And so we want to first start, before we start talking about meth, because I know that that's a #1 drug problem out here in Maricopa County and Arizona, probably the nation, and who knows, the world.
The nation right now,
yeah, maybe the world. I'm not sure. Do they have this problem too?
I think they do in China, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay, and then we're going to talk about how alcohol causes damage to our body and mind for our second topic. But before we do, Joe, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then we'll have Ginger share about herself.
I'm the lead singer for a Christian metal band called Beyond Our Recognitions of God.
Wow.
We're #1 right now in the state of Arizona.
Wow, that's great.
Things have continued to move forward with that.
Coming around, good.
And I'm the founder and president of the Dads Against Meth Use Foundation.
Wow.
The Damn You Foundation.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the initials for it. Dads Against Meth Use is Damn You. Okay, I like that. Very interesting. Okay, that's good. And Ginger, tell us.
I am Ginger, and I'm with High Energy Entertainment. I'm also the manager for Beyond Our right now.
Yes, because it truly is a very
Huge
serious
problem.
issue
Absolutely.
of
It's a
meth
huge
use.
issue. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to talk about this because we could never hear too much and give warnings out there to parents and to the youth that might be watching this program, you know, the dangers of meth. So do you want to start off, Joe, and tell us a little bit about meth and what is it and the dangers of it?
Meth is a stimulant, and what it does, when you feel dragged down or groggy or whatever, and you do meth, now all of a sudden you're alert, you're energetic, you have lots of energy. You think that you know reality when really you don't at that point. The danger behind meth.
So it's deceitful.
It's very, it's an immediate addiction. You don't have the opportunity to try it once, try it twice. Oh, I don't like it, or oh, I do. No, if you try it, 90% of all people that do.
A lot of people, you know, trying to kick that habit, they had no idea what was going to happen to them when it happened. So now you can't, you know, stop it. I think what needs to happen is we need to try to stop people from even trying it. I think that there's a missing element in our education with kids. You tell them not to say no to drugs, but we know that kids want to try things and sample things. If they realize that chemical drugs are instantly addictive, maybe they would think twice about trying it if they realize that the rest of their lives they're going to have to battle this demon.
Wow. Chemical drugs, because I heard that you can make meth in your own house.
That's right.
And
they're made with
what do people use to do that? I mean, how does it work?
Like Dranos and
Drano, like to clean your... No wonder it's
a lye.
destroying the
Drano
body.
is a lye. It's a lye-based product that they use to change the pH balance in it. And also they put acid in it to change the pH balance in it.
And then do you
cool
take
chemicals
it
and
in?
stuff like that. Well, once the chemical is turned into the chemical, all the other stuff leaves it, but it's still the drug, and there's still minute traces of that other chemicals in it. You can never get it out.
They use Raid. They use all kinds of things to create
they're
this drug.
But and then how do they take it? Do you sniff it, or do you put it in your bloodstream?
You can smoke it.
It can be injected.
You can inject it. It has
you can inject it.
You can
smoke.
it
So is it like a liquid? That is very sad.
Scary.
Yeah. So what kind of problems do you see out there, Ginger, with the meth use?
Well, I see. What I see is I see
liquid or powder?
It can be turned back into a liquid from a powder form, so it can be injected. It can also be smoked, and it can be snorted.
You can do it any way you want.
Wow.
You can eat it if you want, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow. So no wonder. I mean, so they're actually taking chemicals that kill things, like you said. Raid doesn't that kill like roaches and bugs?
Right, yeah.
And then Drano,
and then
cleans
getting
your drains out.
Now you know why it rots your teeth out. Huh?
And that's why it rots your skin and your teeth and your organs and your body, and it makes you not think right, and it kills the dopamine in your brain. And
the dopamine.
That, yes. And that can, you know,
those are
problems.
cells that cause us to...
They keep you, dopamine keeps you sane. It is the chemical in your brain, I do believe, and I can't be quoted on this, but a friend of mine has literally did so much meth that he has to take medication because he has no dopamine in his brain. And when he's not on the medication, he starts to see things that aren't there, and like you could be talking to him, and literally he would start holding a whole nother conversation with you. Literally, he just starts losing it. And if he takes too much of the medication, he can't function, he can't talk.
Wow.
That's how bad it is. You know what I mean?
My
And it does that.
goodness.
It's a stimulant. It attacks your nervous system, and it attacks the dopamine in your brain. It literally destroys it from the inside out.
That's amazing. So it almost causes like a Parkinson's, because that's what Parkinson's is, the dopamine in the brain, the cell.
Right, and that causes shaking, tremors that you don't realize that you're having. Absolutely.
It does that to everybody that uses it.
And the problem is because it's instantly addictive, and you're constantly doing this, and you don't sleep, and you're on these chemicals, and that's what's happening. You make bad decisions, and that's
So
how
really,
you
now
ruin
it boils
lives.
down to this: are we going to allow our future generation to grow up like this? I mean, we can't stop people from being addicts, but we have to educate kids so that they don't become addicts.
Yeah. Is there an education out there to let people know, parents know, children know, seriously, the effects of this, and how crazy to even do it?
You're sitting here talking to me.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, there are programs out there that do know about the educational effects of the drug and stuff, but I find that the gap is in the education of letting kids know what will happen if you do try this drug.
Yeah. I think
it's not just that high.
Yeah.
No,
it's seriously
let's try this and
dangerous.
see if I...
drug lyrics.
And do you get to talk a little bit about, you know, not to use drugs and why, or
Well, no,
you don't really? But I bet you that door's
we're like
gonna
a mosh
open for
pit,
you.
man. So people are mosh pitting to our music, and we're just there to give thanks for what we got. You know what I mean? Being blessed is always a good thing.
Yes. So back to this meth problem. What is the answer for parents? What can we do to help train our children to understand?
Communication is huge.
Communication.
That's why we chose dads. Dads are they're the role model.
Yes.
Fathers are always looked up to, no matter how bad the relationship is. You know, I mean, in the 70s and stuff, it was Party City. You know, everybody did it. You know, it's on the fathers to educate the children. I think that if we set up a program within the schools that teach the dangers of drugs, and we get fathers on board to continue educating their their sons and daughters all until they're adults, and stay friends with them. When they mess up, don't freak out over it. Embrace it. What can we do to change it? How can we be part of our kids' lives, a good part of it, not just a 9-to-5 father, I'm a good dad, I go to work. No, you gotta spend a half hour every day with your kid. Sit down and talk to them. What's going on in school? How you doing? What's your girlfriend doing? You know,
Yes.
be his friend. You know,
Go out to the movies with them. Take them, you know, shooting for rabbits or something.
I think a lot of the inner city has lost that touch in reality. They really, really have.
And don't be judgmental, and go do what your kid wants to do, and see what they're doing.
Yes.
But don't be judgmental.
Okay, that's good. That's good, Ginger, because we need to talk to our children. We need to be open so they will talk to us, because if we're like, oh, you're doing what? And, you know, acting like Miss Goody Two-Shoes or Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, then they're going to close off to us, aren't they?
They won't open up. If
Yeah.
I've seen
and
a
not
lot of
that we approve of it. You could say,
No.
I disapprove. I mean, how would
Absolutely.
you tell us, how would you two handle that before we go into our next segment?
If my son was to do drugs like that, obviously I would be very mad. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't be
I would,
happy, but...
No, I would be very mad, but I wouldn't be screaming and yelling.
That isn't going to help. Or disowning them. We were talking about totally
Yes, right.
disowning our child.
All that does is push them farther into it. You know,
And like, fine, I'll just go over here with my friends. They accept me and like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't turn to dad, you're going to turn to your buds. And
Wow.
who would you rather your kid turn to, you or them?
Yeah, or the mother, because there's a lot of single parents, and we've got to be a little more open, and hopefully we can to get here.
Right, how not to get there.
We truly got to get the 9-to-5 fathers involved just as much as the fathers that are locked away in the prison system or the fathers that are disconnected from the kids. I mean, literally all boys at the age of about 13, the rest of their life, the only person they'll listen to is dad.
Wow, this has been so good. Thank you so much for all that you've shared about this. Okay, awesome. Now, before we get to the second topic of how alcohol causes damage to our body and mind.
It eats you from the inside out is what it does.
Wow.
Meth are addicted to it. And it doesn't matter if you're old, if you're young, if there's kids out there that are literally 11 and 12 years old now experimenting with that drug. Literally telling your daughter, you know what, don't do drugs. Well, what do you know about it?
That's true.
What do
and
you
that's
know? Well,
part of the problem.
Can you tell her why she shouldn't do drugs? Why she shouldn't do meth? Can you?
Yeah.
No, you can't. That's why it's
I
huge.
mean, why would
Exactly. You need someone like him
huge,
that has been there
physical
and
and
done
mental
that.
side effects to doing
that
these
can
types
tell.
of drugs. Yeah. And long-term addiction to it. I mean, automatically, you don't even have a chance for salvation until you get older and old enough to realize that that's out there. By then, you've already spent 10 years in drug addiction.
And your kid that you've had is growing up while you're trying to figure out how to make yourself okay.
If you're a parent raising your kid and you're on drugs, what's going to happen to your kid? You can't tell your kid no. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Oh, well, why? You do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? So we need to educate. We just do. Incarceration doesn't work. Education, pre-education, just like preschool. You know, get them prepared for life.
Wow, that is very good. That's very good.